What is up, y'all? It's your boy DSD checking another edition of our YouTube and we're live. So I'm super pumped to be here. Today is Creative Tuesday and we're going over this edit. Basically how I did it, where the creative experience came from, creative thoughts, all that good stuff. We're doing it together. Stay tuned for the video. What is up, guys? It's your boy DSD. We're here. We're better than ever. We're ready to go. I'm super pumped to be here. This is awesome. This edit right here was a pretty popular request. Dalvin Cook, because 2 weeks ago he had a crazy game. He actually played very well this week as well. He's been awesome. There's no other way to put it. He's been awesome. So I definitely wanted to do something for him, and I thought I would, go start with this. So usually I do what is called a manipulation, and what that is specifically is just making things look like they're not there, what they are. So like making someone look into something else, or making LeBron into a king type of thing. It's a manipulation. This is more of a composite. So I'm basically compiling multiple things together to make it look a certain way. Pretty simple. So we're going to do this one together. All right, I have it nice and organized this time, so we're able to really kind of break it down. I'm actually going to go a little deeper into each one of the layers, because so many people have been asking me how I do certain things, and I think it might be helpful going forward, but it's nice and organized, so I think we'll be ready to go. So, as always, we always start with the background. You always want to start with the background, because if you don't, you seriously are going to be in trouble right away, because you need to start with like the creative look, because there's been multiple times where I'll do an edit and not even do a background and never finish it. So first I started with just black. Then I added some purple to kind of give that feeling of like bright. And then once it kind of pulls it together, it makes a lot more sense. So then I started with three different Dalvin Cooks, and this is how I wanted it to look. Yeah, so I started with these three. Usually what I do is I cut them out, put them in where I want them to be, and then I start putting things around them to make it look more sensible. So this is what I started with the background, and then this is how I move forward. So let's start with the back one, because I usually go back to front. It's just easier for me to kind of visualize it. So what I did was I added a rim light around him, which I did an exposure layer, and just inverted it and made it work. Then I did some curve adjustment layers, another curve adjustment layer, some highlights to make it look like the sun was coming from the back, or the lighting rather. And then I added some purple to give that effect. Let's actually start with this. So usually what I do is I put a lighting in front of them. I start with this actually, so it gives a good idea of where you want the light to come from. So the purple makes a lot more sense. What I did first was I did a just regular solid color, then did a brightness adjustment layer, then I did a curve adjustment layer, then another curves, and then I did a gradient map, which it's kind of not a big deal how I did it, but so I changed the roughness from, I think it was 50% to 10, changed it from solid to noise, and then did a soft light layer to make it give that color, so it already was a little more color graded, so I didn't have to really do much going forward. There's still a little different colors, but it was a lot easier to do it that way. Okay, then the background I guess is done, the coloring is done. Oh, and then I noticed a little thing right here, which is something no one else would notice, but I just fixed it and I added something there, so it didn't really make any difference, but I noticed it. Then I added a curve adjustment layer and I pulled it up. So if you go, this one right here is down, which makes it more dark. And then if you go this way, it brings out the dark tones. If you go up, it basically gives a adverse effect where it makes the darker points much more light. So then I kind of messed with it, which gave it more like a depth feel. Then there was another, I just added some lighting in between them. just to kind of give more depth. Didn't really do very much, but it made a difference, as you go through. And then I added a purple ground. It looked like, because I didn't want him just to be standing there with nothing. So that was my next step that I did. Then I went to the middle one. So I did the same thing every time. I do a exposure layer, which it's like rim lighting. Then I do a curve adjustment layer, another curve adjustment layer, so it's like dark then darker. And then I do a brightness wherever the sun's coming in or wherever the light's coming in, which was the back from this case. And then add some purple to kind of give much more cohesiveness. So now it's coming together. And then this was just something, I don't really know. Oh, right here, it was like, I think I messed it up, so I kind of added it. Didn't really make much of a difference, but just a little bit. Then I had another curves adjustment layer that must have just made it feel more farther back, I guess. I think I did the same thing that I did there, yeah, to kind of give it that feel. Then there was some lighting, same thing. I did it in front of this guy, so it gave more of a depth, so it was farther and farther back. Then in between the front guy and the middle guy, I added some dust to kind of create that separation, and it makes it look like he's kind of running. So whenever I do a full body, like edit or something, I always add their shadows on their feet, because if you don't have them, it just doesn't look right. So the way I do that is I usually start with a layer. I open one down here on the right. Then I go to my brush, click up here, and then I adjust this depending on where the footing is. So if you lower it to here-ish, the brush is gonna look like that. So then you're able to kind of, put some colors there. Obviously you don't want to do that, that big, but that's how I did it. And I just kind of tap it. It's called a building the effect. So I built it. So as you can see, it's kind of, it's dark in some places. You can see like right here, dark, and then just some overall. So that's how I do it. Then I added some white mist around him in the back. It's very, very subtle. I can't really tell it a lot, but it adds a little bit more to the effect. That's what Photoshop is, guys. You got to keep adding little things that keep creating the overall effect. Then, so these two colors matched. I said, okay, they're in good shape. I don't really need to color adjust these ones. I need to make this one look like those ones. So I did a color balance, which made it much more close, and it was much more workable, or doable rather. And then I added a rim light, and it looks like these ones were already on. Sorry about that. So this one, I added some curve adjustment layer, another curve adjustment layer. So I wanted the sun and the light to come in this way from the back. So I think that's the effect I was looking for. I had some more coloring, some brightness through a brightness adjustment layer through here, which is right there. And then you do a hue and saturation where all the light was coming in. So then to make it very not crazy confusing, basically what I do is I multiply. So I literally will copy all of these. I'll press shift and press that shift, and then just hold so you're getting the full amount of them. Then you hold alt and you move it, and then it makes two of them. Okay. So the reason why I do that is I shift them into another section called leg, where I want to give that effect where he's running. So what I do is I basically will make a whole nother one, and then just over here on the right, you can see right here. So you can see where the white is where I colored it in. The black is where I kind of just removed everything, and then the white was the you could see through their adjustment layer. Hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully this makes some sense, because it's hard for me to explain, to be honest. So I did the same thing for the next leg to give that effect down that he was running again. Very, very mild effect, but it adds a little bit. So then I was done with the yeah, I was done with the whole thing now. Then I'm like, it's kind of boring. I don't really love it. I still didn't love it even at the ending. It was okay, not good, not great. So I said, okay, let's try to make this ball right here a little bit more, fun looking. So what I did was I got hold on one second. Yeah. So I grabbed whatever color I wanted. I think it was purple or something. Yeah. And then I did a adjustment layer and cut it exactly around the ball. So it gave that, very condensed effect. And then if you do multiple layers of different shading amounts, so you'll do like, you'll lower the flow to like here or like 9 or something, and you'll just tap and tap and tap. And what that does is it builds the effect, like what I was talking about originally. So you can see it starts getting more, and then this one was the last effect, so it gave it a very, very big pop. So that was really nice looking. And then what I did was I was like, okay, it's nice and bright now, but you have to add coloring to him because it wouldn't make sense otherwise. So I added some more brightness on his face and his arms. It made it look like it was coming from the ball. Then I added some more coloring to really make it, look like it. And then I think I did a little more color grading. Very little. You can't really notice a ton. So basically we're done now besides like minimal effects. So I wanted to make it look like it was steaming. So I added some clouds coming off it, or I don't even know if it's even called clouds. It's just like a mist or something. Not exactly sure. And then I always add dust afterwards. Just think it adds a little bit to the effect, like the whole overall, edit. It's very little, but it just makes a little bit of a difference. Then I'm basically done now, so I was like, I wanted just to make it look a little cooler. So I had some darkness to make it really kind of, basically when you do that, when you have this, like make that circle feeling and condense, what it does, all the darkness all around the photo makes it your eyes focus on one specific thing. And in this case, it would be the front Dalvin Cook. So then I added just some more, I think it was just more of a violet color, which was through photo filter, which is right here. And then I think I just made it, I made it brighter by making it screen, and it just kind of made it pop a little bit more, nothing crazy. Then I added some vibrance. I think I removed some of the overall color because I just thought it was a little bit too much. And then I added some more back of the, like the dark shades of color. So then I was done. Then what I do is I combine them all together, which, it's Shift Control Alt E at the same time. And then you come up with another layer. And then what I do with that layer is I create it, then press it, go to filter, and go to camera raw filter. And then that's how I ended up with this overall effect. Pretty cool stuff, like it's definitely creative. I get a lot of inspiration by you guys. A lot of you guys give me the next stuff that you want to do. I got a few coming. John Morant is next one. One of the next ones. Then I have a TJ Watt one coming. I love doing edits. I don't really care what I'm doing. I just want to make sure I'm posting stuff that you guys like. So let me know down below who you guys want me to do next. And as always, make sure you subscribe down below, hammer that like button. I really would appreciate it. It really helps the channel to grow, and it's just only the beginning here. So thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and talk to you soon.